Hey guys, Ninja here, and welcome back to another episode of StoneBlock 3. In today's episode, we're going to continue working on expanding our starter create setup. We're also going to build our very first Tinkers Construct Smeltery. And of course, dive even deeper into our Modpack quest book. So let's go get started. Before we get too far in today's episode, I just wanted to take a quick peek in this chest and show you these sticks we've been collecting. I've kind of forgotten to mention them, and maybe I have and I'm just not remembering it, but they all have a name, and I'm not sure exactly where we're getting them. So if you know, definitely let me know in a comment. I think we're getting them when we miss getting a bee, or they could just be randomly appearing in our inventory, which is my two leading theories. I'm not really sure, and I haven't really looked into it. I just think it's hilarious. And as we progress, we're going to continue to collect these, and we may eventually build an area just for our sticks, which I think would be hilarious. But we've also gotten a few loot bees in between episodes while I was kind of working on planning and preparing for the next episode. And we've gotten some more random rewards. We've gotten a couple of these little luggage guys, and they're kind of funny that if we plop it down, it will follow us around. And pick stuff up. Like, watch this. When I throw this out, it's kind of like creepy and cool at the same time. It like eats things that fall out. So it is useful, and we can go and pull whatever it grabs out. So it is useful when we start clearing out large areas. And I'm not sure how to get it up. I don't want to make it mad. Do we just break it? Do we break? No, we don't. We don't seem to. Shift, right click, nothing. I'm not sure how we get rid of these. Do we right click in the air, left click? Not sure. I'll have to look that up. Now that I've placed it around, it's probably going to follow us around. But if we head outside, yeah, see here, it's trying to come out the door. We'll let him outside. We'll be nice. I think he could come outside. Oh, he might be stuck in there. Well, that's fine. But out here where we have all our create stuff, we're going to work on adding a few more pieces to this. So of course we have our grind wheels. We also need this item called a deployer. And we actually need 3 of these because we are going to use these to craft various blocks. And it actually requires you to have 3 for the specific block that I want. And if we go look at create, I can show you what that is. So we want to be able to make some of these rotation speed controllers so we can better control the rotational speed of our create stuff, and it requires these precision mechanisms, which require 3 of these deploys. Now you might be able to do this one at a time, so we may only set up 1 of the deploys. We'll just have to see how far we get. I'll probably go ahead and build 3, and that way we don't have to swap them out and maybe connect them so it does it one after the other. We'll just have to look and see what we have available. I also want to be able to set up our Tinkers Smeltery, and we already kind of filled this area up. So we're probably going to rip all of this out, expand it, and then modify our current setup so it's a little bit more automated. I believe there's ways we can chest automate this encased fan so we can get automated ores as well as our millstone possibly. And we'll just have to see, because this is our starter create area, and we're going to use this to kind of power the future. So over the next episode or 2, I really want to wrap up our starter area, which is what we're going to call this. And then we're going to expand either that way or that way, I'm not sure which, into our first themed build, which is kind of what we're going to do this season. We're going to build themed builds. And our first one is going to be a create factory or warehouse, whichever one you would like to use, because there's going to be elements that you could call, well, this is factory-ish. It's also a little bit warehousey-ish. Well, that was a bit of a tongue twister. I just created 2 new words, pun intended. So we're not quite ready for that. There's a few more machines that we need to craft. Some of those we just went over, and we need to add those to our setup so we can produce some more complex items and to be able to do it in a decent quantity. So we can build a even larger factory with tons of stress units available to power all kinds of fun machines. I have an exciting idea and I can't wait to get started on it. But there's a few things that we're gonna have to do before we can get into that. So let's go ahead and start crafting. So I believe we now have all the items we need to craft 3 of the create deployers. And if we go in there and take a look, I believe we need to craft these first, these electron tuba, or tube, tuba. I don't know why I saw tuba. That's hilarious. Oh, we have a James Wood moment. I see a bee. Let's go grab that bee real quick. And I think we can get to him right here. Come on, bee, give us our candy. There we go. And if nobody got that reference, I realized in between episodes that it's not just a James Wood reference. It's actually a Family Guy reference, which I am a big fan of. And in there's a James Wood character, and there is a piece of candy moment where he follows it around. But enough of that. We're going to wait for this bee to drop some loot, and then we're going to head back inside. All right, so it looked like we got an aluminum ingot, and we got another mana steel ingot. So that's the second mana steel ingot we got, and we got a couple more of the things that we can't use at the moment, which we'll put in our can't use at the moment chest. So there's that battery. Put the mana steel and eggs over here. Now we'll get back to our deployer. Where were we? So we needed to craft this electron tube, and we need 3 of these. So we're going to go ahead and put all those in there, and that'll give us 3 of the electron tubes. We also need 3 of these brass hands, which are made from 4 pieces of brass sheets and an andesite alloy. And we should have all that ready to go. We may not have the andesite alloy. Let's see if we have. Okay, yeah, we had some extra in there. That's the one thing I didn't think about crafting. So we're going to go ahead and grab those. And now we should be able to craft our 3 deployers. And we need 2 more pieces of the andesite casing. Now we have 3 deployers. I'm really surprised that wasn't a quest, but when we were breaking down items for these, we did complete a quest, which we'll go and get the rewards for that, and that is crushing. We didn't actually crush anything, but we had some zinc, and that unlocked this reward. So we'll go ahead and see what random reward we get. Oh, we got some chainmail leggings. Man, at this rate, we're gonna have a full set of armor. So we'll go ahead and put those on, and I do have all my armor hidden so we can just see our skin. Although I do like how we have the create glasses. I think those look really cool. Or goggles, they're not really glasses. Okay, so now what I want to look at crafting is these pots that I noticed in my buddy G-Fear's video that he was using. And if we look up the word pot, there's these Botany pot from Botany Pots. And there's a hopper version, which is what we're actually going to craft. So we're going to craft this hopper version. And we made enough stuff to make 2 of these. So we'll go ahead and fill in the extra space here. We should have some more hoppers. There we go. And we'll go ahead and take the 2 of those. And we're going to grab a chest. So we should have some wood here. Yeah, we got some wood. So we're going to make a couple chests. And I'm just going to show you real quick how these work. And we need some saplings. Let's do... this is just to demo it. We'll do some dark oak. I don't know if they'll grow dark oak. We'll try it. And just some regular oak. We're going to go ahead and pop up this carpet. I got it before you. It's a race to see who gets it first, me or Mr. Luggage. So we're gonna place our 2 chests here. Oh, that's how you get him. You right click him. Shift right click him. But that was with a chest. That was really odd. I wonder if it has to be with a chest, because we tried that earlier, I thought. Anyways, we should be able to right click these pots onto these chests. And I'm kind of just going how I think these will work. So this may not be right. We do need some dirt. Do we have any dirt? Well, we have 1. That's hilarious, actually. I didn't think about that. Well, we'll just demo with 1. I'll worry about the rest later. So we need to put some dirt in there. Oh, it has an internal storage as well. That's really awesome. So we're gonna put a sapling in there, and it should start growing. So you'll see a miniature version of a sapling tree grow. We'll just give it a moment to fully grow. and it looks like it has fully grown. That took a little longer than I thought, but over time this will really add up as they're passively running. So it did auto hopper into this chest like I thought. Look at there, we did something right the first time, other than not having dirt to put in this other one. And what basically happens is what you saw. It grows till it's what it calls fully grown, a little miniature tree, and then it breaks it into what appears to be 4 logs. And I think that will probably be applicable to any tree type. And we could just passively build up a pretty good inventory of logs. So we'll let this one run with oak. I'll work on getting a piece of dirt and probably do dark oak or spruce, since we've been using a lot of spruce. But we'll worry about that later. That's something I can do off camera. What I'm gonna work on now is tearing out all of our stuff that we have set up over here and making one last major renovation of our starter area here. We're gonna probably double the size of this room. We're gonna make it go back deeper and go over that way a little bit. And we need to rearrange these water wheels, probably put them somewhere else. We'll just have to see. And we're gonna add our deployers and try to automate some of these machines. So let's get started on that. So we got quite a bit knocked out. I've been working on this for a couple of hours. We didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to, especially with automation, but I severely underestimated, one, the time it would take to work on this stuff and the amount of resources it would take to craft all of these gearboxes and the various items that we have already set up. With that said, we did get everything we had before set back up in a new place, as well as the new stuff that we've crafted and haven't set up yet, like our crushing wheels and our deployers. And we do have these set up with a conveyor belt. We are going to introduce some more conveyor belts into our create setup, especially our crushing wheels. But currently we don't have enough kelp to make these belts. And if we take a quick look at our REI, I'll just show you real quick what those are made out of. So the belt is made from 6 dried kelp, which of course you get from smelting 1 kelp. We do have access to get kelp. I just didn't have anything set up in order to get more. So now that we have our machine set back up, we can farm a bunch of resources to continue upgrading our starter create area, which it's close to being done. We're gonna do a little chest automation here and here, and we want to automate this. So this will probably get moved around to make more room, so we can automate this a little bit, and our millstone if we need it. I don't even know if we need this anymore since we have our crushing wheels. I'll just have to look and see. Now these are manually set up at the moment, but we can use conveyor belts and some other items that we don't have to automate it a bit. And I did double gearbox this on purpose, because if you only do one with where we're at in the sequence of our gears, it's spinning the wrong way. So there's a whole bunch of gear shafts here to get it spinning the correct directions. And there might be a simpler way of doing this, but this is what I came up with. Sometimes my brain, it just works a little weird. But it works. That's the most important thing. And it looks good. So I did actually end up moving this once because it was set over one, and when I started setting other things in, it wasn't lined up. But now if you walk down through here, it's centered on these 2 machines. And I haven't yet fixed our mechanical crafter. I actually completely forgot about that. Or setting up our other depot. I was wondering why we had a spare depot. That goes right there. And we will get these all pointed to that in a bit. We won't worry about that right now because we don't need to use it. But other than that, I mean, you can see where we got rid of most of our cogs. We have a few cogs going where we need them to turn things that require a cog. And we're also using them right here, so these are blowing the correct direction. But other than that, we're using shafts and gearboxes to move all of our power away. We condensed our water wheels down to just 1 setup, and we expanded it. We added 2 more, and we verified all of these are creating 256 SU, which gives us really close to 800 SU to use total. And our biggest consumer right now, all set at the default slowest speed available, is our mechanical crafter. It's using 32 SU per mechanical crafter, and you multiply by 21 and you get the total number, which is about 1/3 to half of our total SUs. And then the rest of these are using, well, this isn't currently using anything. Oh, this is a problem. I just realized this is set up incorrectly. We can fix that really quick. We can knock that off. And do we have a small cogwheel on us? No, we don't, but we might have one in here. Oh yeah, we got plenty. So we'll grab a small cogwheel and we'll attach that right there. And it's using 64, but it doesn't have enough speed, which we know from the last episode. So we'll have to actually speed that up. But I'll work on that later. I'm not worried about that at the moment. This one should be good. And this is good, but untested. I guess we could test this out. I am very interested to see if this even works correctly. So let's go grab some components to make one of those belts. So I did grab a couple golden sheets that we can use to turn into our precision mechanisms, not a belt. I keep calling it a belt, and if we go take a look at create, you'll see why. Well, it looks like a belt. And if we look at the recipe, you can see it needs to run through 3 deployers, which we have set up on a belt. So hopefully that works. And it needs to go through 5 times. and each time it needs to press a small cogwheel, a large cogwheel, and an iron nugget. Now ours are set up the opposite direction it shows here. It should still work. This whole system is untested, and it actually needs one more item. It needs a hopper on the top, and I think we could probably do it like that, but I don't like the way it looks. So let's grab a few blocks where we can go up in the air a little bit. We're gonna add a hopper to the top of each one of these, although it does kind of visually glitch, but that's okay. And then in this hopper, we're gonna put, we about messed up already, our 10 small ones. And then on this one, we're gonna put our 10 big ones. And then on the end, we're gonna put our 10 iron nuggets. And now we can remove this dirt, and it's the moment of truth. All right, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to run 2 through, because I forgot to show you guys, and you may have already noticed it, but when you run this through, there's only an 80% chance you get the precision mechanism. So I guess there's a 20% chance it fails. So hopefully with 2 we definitely get at least 1. So we're going to go ahead and throw both of these golden sheets into this chest, and it should pull out onto the conveyor. There we go. And then it's going to clip it, press the big cogwheel, and then it's going to grab the iron nugget, and then it's going to go in here, and they're incomplete. So we're going to pull these out, and we're going to have to run these through a couple times. I did want to go ahead and point out that we did go ahead and move our gearbox over one and sped it up just enough for this to actually be running, so it is good to go now. And I also fixed our pointing system so it's all pointed to this. So now our Create Workshop that is quickly becoming useful and growing is now fully functional back to where it was at least at, plus the additional machines here. And we'll demo this here in a moment, but let's go ahead and run our incomplete precision mechanisms through 4 more times. So we now have 2 precision mechanisms. So it crafted both of them, so we didn't have a failure. This probably could definitely be automated a lot better than the way I've got it set up, but I'm still learning. Like I said, when we first started on Create, this is the first time I've ever played with Create, and I'm kind of learning as we go. I wanted to try out the belt and the belt funnels and chest automation before diving into anything more complex. I've been, watching some YouTube videos, and I could definitely see what you can do, but I'm kind of a hands-on guy. I have to mess around with it myself and find my own way of setting things up. And that's what we're doing here. So I did go grab a stack of gravel, and I don't have this, like I said, automated at all. So we're gonna try to get in the right spot here. And we're gonna chunk this gravel into our stones. And we missed it. So let's try that one more time. It should be close enough. Oh, 3rd time's a charm. So we're gonna get really close. We're gonna throw it up. So I think we're too close to it. Maybe we need to stand back a little bit, angle it, and throw it. I know this can work. I did it earlier because I needed some iron. There we go. Oh, it's just a perfect hitbox. So it's got a nice little visual look to it. And it takes a moment to grind up that gravel, but it'll give us some nice little resources. So let's go put some of this other stuff away while we're waiting. And I've got a temporary chest set up over here. We're just going to put some of this spare components we're not using over here. We got another stick, so we'll go add that to our stick collection, which is growing quite a bit, actually. We got a couple that I got that I thought were kind of funny. We've got 2 of the I Am Not Groot. The stickiest of sticky sticks. My bark is worse than my bite. These are kind of funny. Stick Karen. It wants to speak to your manager. Oh, that's hilarious. So versatile, you can stick it anywhere. All right, that's enough playing around with our sticks. All right, so let's put our precision belt in here. We don't need that at the moment. And that gravel's still grinding. So let's set up our kiln brick real quick. Our kiln brick oven. We're gonna put it, for now we're just gonna stick it, this is a 2x2, we're gonna stick it right here. Somewhere out of the way, just so we have access to it, because this is our only way of getting brass at the moment. Ooh, we got a salute bee. Let's go get this salute bee real quick. Ooh, he's down in my mess of what used to be my mine. I need to clean that up. I just kind of covered it up and decided to deal with it later. All right, we'll let him out. Get on out of there, buddy. And then we're going to come back behind. So I did discover something with this pocket storage unit and explain stuff that was happening to me. You'll notice I didn't pick up any cobble and it just kind of disappeared. Well, if it's set to go into the pocket storage and it fills up, it starts deleting the items. So that's not cool. So we probably won't use it too much longer. Ooh, looks like we got another mana steel ingot, so it was worth it. Some more of these pipe upgrades. What else you gonna drop there, buddy? Ooh, another mana steel. Ooh, we got 2 from him. Egg. And aluminum ingot. Oh, you would go into our farm. And I believe that's all he had. Oh, we got another one of those munchers. But we'll go put this stuff in our chest real quick. Most of this goes over here. In the next episode, I definitely want to work on some better storage. But we're not quite there yet. So over here, our gravel should be done. And let's go grab, look at all those goodies. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I cannot wait to get that automated with a belt system. Right, and we'll just throw that in our resource chest. And now you can see how the crushing wheel can work. And you can automate it a couple different ways. The way we're going to automate it in the next episode is run a conveyor belt up to it and then have it just drop off into it, and then on a conveyor belt below that catches it and sends it into a chest. What I think we're going to do now is take a moment and set up our smeltery. And I think we're going to put that right here. Looks like a pretty good spot. So let's get putting some blocks together. We now have a fully functional and fueled Tinkers Smeltery. It's a typical 3x3 that I like to build, and it's 4 blocks high. It has a little window so you can look in and see what's being smelted. And it is, like I said, fueled and ready to go. Now that we have our Tinkers Smeltery built, we're going to wrap this episode up by finishing up the Getting Started quest line. And we don't have much left. We have to build this no solicitor sign, and we need to finish upgrading our cobble generator. And now that we have our Tinkers Smeltery, we can do that. So you can see the next tier that we need is tier 3, and it requires 4 blocks of iron, which of course we needed our Tinkers Smeltery to do the last 3 tiers. So we can now go ahead and put in this 36 iron, which we already have ready to go. And it's going to go ahead and fuel that up. And we'll go ahead, I grabbed our cobble gen. We'll go ahead and throw it in one of the basins here. And once this iron is done smelting, we'll go ahead and pour it out. It will be a little bit extra because with the new Tinkers Smeltery, for every raw iron or raw ore that you put in there, you get 1 ingot and 3 nuggets worth. So this My math was way off. I thought it was just going to be a little bit extra. Instead of being a little extra, it's 1 block and 3 ingots extra. So we'll go ahead and upgrade our collagen, which will give us a quest line. And we will pull this out each time because we want to make sure we get credit for having that. And it may take it a moment. And we now have, there we go, right click it. We now have a tier 3 collagen. So we're going to go ahead and put that back in our basin. And the next tier is gold. So we'll go ahead and add gold. And while we wait on this to smelt, we're going to go ahead and grab a block of this iron out in this other basin. While we're waiting on that to finish, we're going to stick one of our iron ingots over here and make our first gold cast. So now we'll be able to pull the rest of those ingots out of our smeltery. Unfortunately, that does use up whatever you use as a cast when you craft the golden ones, but that's okay. We'll have plenty of iron ingots. So let's go ahead and pull this out and get credit for the tier 4 collagen. We're going to put that back, and we're going to cut back on our diamonds. I'm not sure exactly how much. We know at least 9. So let's go ahead and add these others. We may not be able to do the next tier. What does it require? It shows it in a casting basin. 4 blocks of diamonds. How do we get molten diamonds? We need blazing blood. So it may be a little while before we can get that final tier and finish the getting started. Well, that's unfortunate. I really thought we could finish the getting started portion. So that's going to have to wait until we get some blazing blood. But I am curious to see how fast this tier 4 collagen is. So we're going to place it right here. And I got a fresh chest ready to go. We're going to stick it on there and see what it does. It's definitely quicker than the tier 2. It's not as quick as I thought it was going to be. I expect it to fill up right away, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and pull out all of our diamonds that we throw it in here, and then we'll go craft our last item for today. All right, we need an emerald, and we'll put these other diamonds up because we will not be able to do that anytime soon. We need emerald, and we need 1 piece of plant, and we need a sign, which we should be able to make over here. So we need to look up soliciting. And we probably won't put this up right away because I kind of want to see what we can get from the Wandering Trader, because right now we don't really have a whole lot. And we only had 1 stick, which is the perfect amount. So we'll put our 1 sign there, our piece of flint, and our emerald, and get our no soliciting sign. And that almost finishes up our getting started quest. Man, I'm really bummed. I thought we could finish that up, but let's go ahead and accept our rewards for our completed quest for today. And we got a hovering hourglass, a fluid pipe, entangled binder. I'm not sure what that's even used for. And we have a few others too. So under miscellaneous, we have one for our construction wand. We did build a diamond wand to help with our upgrades for today's build. And then under create, we got a reward for our belt that we built. Oh, we got a cogwheel. Useful. So we're starting to ease through the create mod quite a bit. But that's all the quest for today. And I believe with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap today's episode up. There is one last thing I forgot about mentioning, and that is we upgraded our tools. We added both a diamond and an emerald modifier to both our pick and our axe. This drastically increased our durability and allowed us to do a lot more work on our upgrades without having to repair. By the second repair, I was like, I have plenty of diamonds and emeralds. Let's upgrade our tools. And it definitely was worth it. We've already almost burnt up this pick again. That happens when you have Vein Miner in a pack. But other than that, guys, I apologize if this episode felt a bit rushed or light on content. I've had a lot going on in real life, and I've also put this episode off to the last minute, which I shouldn't have done. And I'm sorry about that. I'll really try in the future to not let that happen. But I still wanted to get some content out to you guys. And in the next episode, I promise, we're going to do a lot more, and it's going to feel a little bit more like the normal organized Agro Ninja. But with that, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. This is Agro Ninja, and that's a wrap.